It was on an overcast late afternoon in New York at the Polo Grounds. Carl Mays, a submarine pitcher whose delivery was difficult to follow in the best of circumstances, delivered a pitch that may have kept two players out of the Hall of Fame. A pitch that struck Ray Chapman on the head. Mays fielded the ball and threw to first base before he knew the true result of the pitch. The devastating pitch took the life of the talented Cleveland shortstop 12 hours later at 4:40 a.m. before his new beloved wife could arrive at the New York hospital. Chapman led the American League in 1918 in runs scored and walks. He batted .300 or better 3 times. He led the Indians in stolen bases 4 times. He is second all-time for sacrifice hits for right-handed batters, an unselfish player. He was hitting .303 with 97 runs scored when he died. Ray Chapman was a very popular player who even Ty Cobb considered to be one of his few friends.
This is Apba Brian with Game 10 of the Deadball Era Division Tournament. We have the 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates at the 1920 Cleveland Indians. We've got 2 Hall of Fame pitchers pitching today. Here are your starting lineups. First for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Fred Clark will be in left field, Tom Leach in center field. Honus Wagner is the shortstop, Dots Miller at second base, Owen Wilson in right field, Bill Epstein's at first base, Gibson's the catcher, Burns the third baseman, and Vic Willis is the pitcher. For the Cleveland Indians, Joe Sewell, Charlie Jamison, Tris Speaker, Elmer Smith, right field, Larry Gardner, Doc Johnston, Steve O'Neill, Bill Wamsgans at second base, and Harry Kovaleski on the mound. Kovaleski is a grade A pitcher, Y and Z modifiers. We're ready to begin. Let's get the first roll on the table. 65 is a pop-up to the catcher, Steve O'Neill, and Fred Clark is retired for the first out. We're playing basic Apba. I'm using the large book. I usually use a smaller book. I've hardly ever used a large one. We'll see how it is today. The stealing, we do give the catcher a chance to throw the runner out. 36, we have a pop fly out to the second baseman, except for there is a Y modifier that's going to be a strikeout of Tommy Leach. 2 down. Here is Honus Wagner, along with Ty Cobb, the premier player of the age. 62 is a base on balls. Wagner is at first. And actually, we have master ratings for both teams, so we can use the master stealing system. Okay, Wagner is a C27 stealing. We have to take 3 off that. Kovaleski's moved to first as 1, and throwing arm for O'Neill is +2, favoring the catcher and the pitcher. So he would be a C24, or 11 through 46 is his chance to steal second. Dots Miller is the hitter, and Wagner will take off. Here's the pitch. 51 is going to be too high. He's going to be just out. 2 to, let's see, Miller was a right-hand batter. 2 to 4. And that's the end of the top of the first inning, no score. The shortstop, Joe Sewell, will lead off for the Cleveland Indians. Vic Willis is a grade A with no modifiers pitcher. Sewell was in taking the place of Lunty, who took the place of Ray Chapman. Lunty did not last very long. He got injured himself. And then they called upon Joe Sewell to play shortstop. Eventual Hall of Famer. 53 is a 19 against fielding column 2. That is going to be an error on the third baseman, Byrne. Joe Sewell is at first. Average speed, E23 steal rating. I have not had good success stealing bases in this tournament. Okay, Charlie Jameson, the hitter. Let's see if he's got 11s on his card. Does not have 11s on his card. And no extra 31s with Jameson. So we'll hold. 61 is a 12. That's going to be a 6, 4, 3 double play. So bases are clear again, and we have 2 outs for Tris Speaker, a 388 hitter in 1920. 1-6 is a 28. That's going to be a ground out to the shortstop, 6-3. We go to the top of the second, no score. Stan Kovaleski won 20 games 4 times for the Cleveland Indians, and he was 3-0 in the 1920 World Series. Chief Wilson's up to bat. 24 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. Should be Dots Miller up to bat. Hang on. '24 is going to be a fly out to right field. Chief Wilson. 46 is a ground out to third base. That's Larry Gardner, 5-3. Bill Epstein. Bill Epstein had a short career in the major leagues. He only played 3 seasons. He also played soccer semi-professionally. 43 is a ground ball back to the pitcher, Kovaleski, and Epstein is the 3rd out. Bottom of the 2nd inning we go, no score. Right fielder, Elmer Smith. 32 is the roll. 26 the play. Result is a ground out to second base. That's Dots Miller, 4-3. Someone was looking for Miller one time. They were asking Honus Wagner where he was, and Wagner said Dots Miller with his accent, and that's where the dots came from. Gardner, 42, base on balls. It's a walk. Larry Gardner's average speed. There is Doc Johnston. 1-1 roll, that's going to be a hit, call, and roll. We got to have an Indian on first. 32 is a 11. So first and third, and his might look to steal on the next pitch. Let's see. E27. Move to first is 0. Catcher is +2 throwing, so it'd be E25. I think we'll sit still. Steve O'Neill, the batter, with 1 out. Pittsburgh will play with the infield back for a double play. Here's the pitch. 24 is a swing and miss for strike 3. That's 2 away. Bill Wamsgans, 244 hitter. I'm going to go ahead and pitch to him with 2 outs. 64 is a strikeout. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. Cleveland mounts a threat, but they don't score. 3, 3rd inning, nothing. George Moon Gibson from London, Canada, leads off for the Pirates. 51 is an 8 against the A pitcher. That's going to be a fly out to right field. Caught by Elmer Smith. 1 away. Bobby Byrne. 64 is a 39. That's going to be a, let's see, Strike one on the batter. 33 is base hit for Byrne. Fast runner with the steal rating of D27. One away, Vic Willis is the batter. He's going to swing away. That result has a Y modifier, so it is a strikeout. The second strikeout for Stan Kovaleski. And here is Fred Clark. 63 is a fly ball to center field, caught by Tris Speaker. That is 3 outs. So no runs on 1 hit. We go to the bottom of the third. No score. I keep being tempted to call Stan Kovaleski the batter. Harry Kovaleski, that was his brother, who was 3 times a 20-game winner. He had another brother, Jacob, who died in the Spanish-American War. Here is the pitch to Stan Kovaleski. 53 is a 21 off of fielding column 2. And that would be an error on the first baseman, Bill Epstein. Okay, he's as in for stealing, so he's not going to be stealing. Joe Sewell is the hitter. Sewell's well known for getting the bat on the ball. In his career, he only struck out once every 62 at-bats. 51 is an 8 against an A pitcher. That's going to be a ground out to the first baseman, Bill Epstein. The pitcher covering. Kovaleski will go to second. 1 away. Charlie Jameson, a .319 hitter in 1920. 42 is the roll. That's going to be a walk. And now we got 2 on. For a .388 hitter, Tris Speaker. I would say this is a bona fide scoring opportunity. Here's the windup and the pitch to Speaker. 1-5 is the roll. That's a 10. Ground out to the pitcher. 1, 2, 3. Both runners advance, but there are now 2 outs. Elmer Smith. .316 hitter in 1920. 51's at 8. That's going to be a single over first base. Both runners will score. And the Indians take a 2-0 lead. Those runs are unearned. The first batter reached by error by Bill Epstein. Here's Larry Gardner. .33 is a roll. That's a hit column roll. We might get some more scoring here. 34 is going to be a single. Runner goes to third. First and third, 2 outs. Larry Gardner keeps the line moving. Doc Johnston. Infield's playing back. 23 is a 26. That's going to be a put out unassisted by the first baseman. That's a third out, but 2 runs score on 2 hits, a walk, and an error. We go to the top of the 4th inning. It's now Cleveland 2, Pittsburgh nothing. Top of the 4th, we have Tommy Leach Honus Wagner and Dots Miller. Cleveland won their first game against the 1919 Reds 3-0. They've got a 2-run advantage here. They're what are looking like a threat to possibly win this tournament. Here's the pitch to Tommy Leach. 36 is a white modifier, so that's going to be a strikeout. One away in the top of the fourth. Honus Wagner, who walked his first time up. 65 is going to be a ground out to first base unassisted. Dots Miller. 42 is a ground out to the shortstop, Joe Sewell. 3 outs. We go to the bottom of the fourth, 2-0 Cleveland. Steve O'Neill, who hit .333 in the World Series, will lead off the bottom of the fourth for the Cleveland Indians. After his playing days, he was a manager for Cleveland, Detroit, Boston, and Philadelphia. Here's the pitch to O'Neill. Popped up to the 35 is ground out to the first baseman unassisted. That's different than my small book that's usually pop up to the catcher. All right, so Bill Wamsgans. 34 is a fly ball to center field, caught by the center fielder, Tommy Leach. Now the pitcher is Stanley Kovaleski. .35 is the roll. That's a 23 of column 2. Error on the center fielder. Second time that Kovaleski's reached base by way of an error. There's 2 outs. Here is Joe Sewell. .53-19, column 2. That's a single. Except for an asterisk, there's 2 outs. So it's going to be a ground out 5-3. We go to the top of the fifth, 2-0 Indians. Thus far, Kovaleski has held Pittsburgh to 1 hit and 1 walk. 53 is a 17, feeling column 2. That's going to be a base hit. That's only the second hit for the Pirates. Wilson's a fast runner at first with no outs. A C25 stealer with 11 in the first column. We may start the runner just to avoid the double play. Here's the pitch to Apba. The runner is running 25. That's going to be a hit and run play. 25 is an 8. Against the A pitcher, see result 26. Ground out to second base, 4-3. Base runner goes to second base. So there's 1 out, runner in scoring position for George Gibson. 34 is a fly out to the center fielder, Tris Speaker. They will pitch to Matt Byrne. Bobby Byrne's a .226 hitter, and the pitcher's on deck. They will go ahead and take their chances. Here's the pitch. 35 is going to be a base on balls. So Byrne's been on base twice. Singled earlier. Vic Willis. .42 is a strikeout. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning, 2-0 Indians. Charlie Jameson leads off the bottom of the fifth. He has grounded into a double play and walked. 61 is a roll. That's a 12. That's going to be a ground out to the Pittsburgh third baseman, Bobby Byrne, 1 away. 1-5 for Tris Speaker is a base hit to center field. Elmer Smith. 51 is an 8 against an A. That's going to be a ground out to the first baseman over to the pitcher, with Speaker going to second base. So the Gray Eagles in scoring position for Cleveland. Larry Gardner. 33, that is a hit column roll. 1-5 is a triple to deep center field for Larry Gardner, and he is 2 for 2, and he has increased the lead to 3-0 Cleveland. Now 2 outs, infield is back. Back Johnston. 1-1, that's also a hit column roll. 22 is going to be another triple. This is along the left field foul line. Scoring Gardner, and it is 4-0 Cleveland. The Indians showing the lumber with 3 hits and 2 runs in this inning. Steve O'Neill, the catcher, comes to bat. Another 300 hitter, 321 hitter, infield's back. 32 is going to be that's going to be a ground out to the second baseman, 4-3. We go to the top of the 6th. It's now Cleveland 4, Pittsburgh 0. Stan Kowaleski's back on the mound to pitch the top of the 6th inning for Cleveland. He grew up in coal country in Hamilton, Pennsylvania. And when he was 16, he was working 72 hours in the coal mines, not playing much baseball. But what he did do in the evenings was gather rocks. And he said he threw out a tin can at 50 feet to build up arm strength and accuracy. Then became a pitcher, and here he is today pitching to Fred Clark of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Top of the 6th inning, 45 is a base on balls. Tommy Leach is a hitter. They will hit and run. There goes Clark. Here's the pitch. The Leach 13 is a 14. That's going to be a strike. If the runner has 11 in the first column, he steals safely. Fred Clark does have an 11. It's the Leach. 63 is a fly ball to center field, caught by Tris Speaker. 1 away. Honus Wagner, 339 hitter. They're going to walk him intentionally. Thinking about that. Yeah, pitch to Dots Miller, 279. I know it's putting an extra runner on base, but that's what we're doing. Here's the pitch to Miller. 55 is an 8. That's going to be a ground out to the third baseman, Larry Gardner, and the runners will advance 1 base. Here is Owen Wilson. .36 is going to be a walk. No modifiers on that result, so the bases are loaded. Bill Epstein. Ooh, that was almost 1-1 roll. That could have changed things. 1-2 is a 25. That's going to be a ground out to the pitcher. 1-3. That's the end of the inning. Pirates leave them loaded. 4-0 Indians. Bill Wamsgans. 46 is a ground ball back to the pitcher, Vic Willis. 1 away. Stan Kovaleski. 33 is a 7. That's going to be a base hit for the pitcher. He's been on base all 3 times for the Indians, 2 errors, and now a single. Joe Sewell. 23 is a 26. That's going to be a ground ball to the second baseman. He goes the short way, 4-6. Fielder's choice for Joe Sewell. Charlie Jameson, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. 66 is going to be a hit column roll. 46 is a double, and that's going to score Sewell, or excuse me, yeah, that will score Sewell. And it's now 5-0 Cleveland. The Pirates are going to do a double switch here. They're going to bring in a new pitcher, Deacon Felipe. He is a grade C ZZ modifier. He'll be a grade B for the first batters. They have a lefty-lefty situation. And they're also going to bring in Ham Hyatt. Felipe will bat in Bill Epstein's, the first baseman's position, and Ham Hyatt will bat in the pitcher spot. Here's the windup and the pitch from Felipe to Speaker. 63 is a fly ball to center field. That's caught by Tommy Leach for the third out. But the Indians get another run in the 6th inning. It is 5-1 Cleveland as we go to the top of the 7th inning. I don't know if I said 5-1. It's 5-0 Cleveland. Stan Kovaleski returns to the mound in the top of the 7th. He'll be facing George Gibson, Bobby Byrne, and Ham Hyatt. Here's the pitch to Gibson. 55 is a 8 against an A pitcher. That's going to be a pop out to Larry Gardner at third base. Bobby Byrne. That's going to spin from now on. Okay, 34 is fly ball to center field. 2 away. And Ham Hyatt. 61 is a ground out to the shortstop. So a quick 1, 2, 3. Bottom of the 7th, Cleveland 5, Pittsburgh 0. This game is being played at Cleveland's League Park, who in these days has been renovated into a very nice little ball field to play on. And I'm not sure, but I think there is also a museum in the part that still exists, the clubhouse from the old League Park. Not 100% sure about that. We were there in Cleveland a number of years ago when they were doing that work. But I think there's a sports museum there now. Here is Elmer Smith. 42 is a base on balls. Larry Gardner is the batter. I was in Cleveland visiting my brother-in-law. Now, my sister passed away a long time ago, and he remarried their best friend. And we love them both, Charlene and my brother-in-law. They took us to a Columbus Clippers game. But they said that they were at that famous playoff game with the Yankees when I'm sure his name was Josh Chamberlain, was pitching. And they had all the nets on the field. Cliff says that the nets were not in the stands. They were just on the players. Here's the pitch to Gardner. 65 is a foul out to the catcher. 1 down. And that's the first time Larry Gardner has been retired. Doc Johnston. 24 is a swing and a miss for strike 3, 2 outs. And here is Steve O'Neill. O'Neill is 0 for 3. 65 is going to be a pop out to the catcher. Okay, we go to the top of the 8th inning. It's 5-0 Cleveland. Fred Clark leads off for the Pirates in the top of the 8th. 1-2 is the roll. That's going to be a ground out to the Cleveland second baseman. That is Bill Wamsgans, 1 away. Tommy Leach. One of the holdovers from the Pirates' 1902 championship team. 23 is a ground out to the second baseman, 4-3. Honus Wagner, also on that 1902 championship team. 44 is a base hit for Honus Wagner. He's been on base 3 out of 4 times. No point in stealing when you're 5 runs behind, 2 outs. Dots Miller. 33 is going to be a hit column roll. 51 is a 2. That's going to be a triple on the right field line. That's going to score Honus Wagner. And the Pirates are on the board for the first time. It is Cleveland 5, Pittsburgh 1. That will mean Stan Kovaleski will reach the point of weakness, home rules, after 7 innings on the starter. 2 bad things happen. He gets tired. So he becomes a B pitcher as he pitches to Owen Wilson. There's the pitch to Owen Wilson. It's a 35. That's going to be a 9 against the B pitcher. That's going to be a single through shortstop. The runner scores. Batter's out trying for second. 7-6. That's the third out. But they get another run. It's 5-2 Cleveland. Deacon Phillippe comes back out for the Pirates to pitch the bottom of the 8th. Bill Wamsgans leads off for Cleveland. 52 is the roll. That's going to be a ground out to the second baseman, Bill Dots Miller. 1 away. They're going to let Stan Kovaleski remain in the game. He's going to try to get a complete game. He's got still a 3-run lead. 36 is pop out to the second baseman. Top of the order, and Joe Sewell. .22 is a base hit for Joe Sewell. And the Indians have had base runners in every inning. Charlie Jameson. 45 is going to be 2 balls and no strikes. He's got the ZZ modifier. 61 is the roll. Ground out to shortstop. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Pirates are 3 runs down, 5-2 Cleveland. Okay, the pitcher's spot was due up. He will be pinch hit for by Pat O'Connor. Stanley Kovaleski completes his warm-up tosses for the 9th inning. He was one of the last of the spitball pitchers. There were 17 of those after 1920, after the tragedy with Ray Chapman. spitballs were outlawed the next year, and they didn't bring batting helmets, so that didn't come until 1956 in the National League. Here's the pitch to Pat O'Connor. 33 is going to be a base hit. Leadoff hitter by the pitch hitter. And with that, Cleveland will go to their bullpen. The new pitcher will be Duster Mayles, Y modifier, at a 1.85 earned run average in 1909. George Gibson is the hitter. Here's the pitch. 63 is a fly ball to Tris Speaker in center field. One away. Bobby Byrne. That's a 63. That's also a fly out to Tris Speaker. 2 outs. And now Ham Hyatt. Last chance for the Pirates. 62 is the roll. That's a swing and a miss for strike 3. That's your ball game. The final score of the Cleveland Indians 5 and the Pittsburgh Pirates 2. Game 10 concludes with the 1920 Cleveland Indians on top. The Pittsburgh Pirates scored 2 runs on 6 hits and 3 errors. Cleveland, 5 runs on 9 hits and no errors. The winning pitcher was Stanley Kovaleski, 8 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 5 walks. Vic Willis was the losing pitcher, 6 innings and 4 earned runs. Today's star of the game was Larry Gardner, third baseman for the Cleveland Indians, on base 3 out of 4 times, a walk, a single, a triple, and a run scored. So now the Indians move forward in the winners bracket. They will play the 1915 Boston Red Sox, and the 09 Pirates move down to the losers brackets, where they'll be matched up with the 1912 New York Giants, and that is our next game on Monday. The 1912 Giants, one of my favorite teams, actually, along with the 15 Red Sox. They will be at Forbes Field to take on the Pirates. The Pirates are 1-1 in this tournament. Giants are 2-1. Thanks for joining us today. Hope you enjoyed the game, and good day and God bless.